I think we are all set up and ready to start. So I will wait for the first comments and then we're gonna jump right into our today's topic. Hi, hello. Okay, let me check the chat. Okay, awesome. Okay, I can see the first comments. Hi. Hello. All right, I think we're all set up and ready to start. Hi, I'm Nastya from Tilda, and today I'm excited to host a webinar on how to build a personal portfolio website in 2024. So let us quickly go through our today's plan. So we are going to find out why you need a portfolio website in 2024. When there are so many social platforms out there, why would you need your own website? Why would you invest your time and effort into creating a website? Then we're going to talk about what makes a strong portfolio, right? So what aspects should you pay attention to in order to stand out from others and just, find the dream project, the dream client online. Next, we're going to talk about how to curate your content for more impact, how to choose the right work, how to create case studies, and so on. So next, we're going to learn how to improve portfolio navigation, and here we're going to jump right into our editor on Tilda and create a website in real time, okay? And I will show you tips and tricks on how to make the website creation easier. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about creating a great website copy. So what should you put on your website for it to be as seamless as possible? And finally, we're gonna talk about how to market your skills for more opportunities, how to reach out to clients, and so on. So creating a portfolio can seem overwhelming because you have to put years of your work into one page, and you're also your own client, right? So it's not like someone hired you to create a portfolio, you're creating it for yourself. So you might want to find yourself in a situation where you want to make everything perfect as possible. So you might want to include this amazing client or this amazing project that you don't have yet, or maybe you need a professional picture for your website. And while you don't have it, you tend to postpone creating your portfolio. Been there, done that. It's really hard to talk about yourself. So today our goal is to show you how you can create a portfolio in easy steps. So we have prepared a guide where we discuss different aspects of creating your portfolio. And while we are at it, let me know in the comments what industry you're working at. So whether you're a designer or photographer, like why would you need a portfolio website? Let me know, guys, in the comments, and probably I will tweak our today's conversation so it's more useful to you, okay? And if you're new to Tilda and don't know what it is yet, Tilda is a no-code website builder for everyone. It has over 500 blocks that were pre-designed by professional designers. And it's really intuitive, it's really easy to create a website using the block system. And you also don't need to hire anyone. You don't have to be a developer. You don't have to hire a developer to create a website for you. It's easy like that. We also have template collection, and you can choose over 200 pre-designed templates and also customize them later on. So Tilda has a 2 weeks trial, and if you subscribe for our newsletter for the webinars, you will get a nice bonus. So make sure you do that. Okay, so next question is, why do you need a portfolio website in 2024? So a lot of people say that you don't really need a website. It's too much time, too much effort. There are so many platforms like Dribbble, Behance, ArtStation, anything you want, and it's already pretty intuitive. But I would say that one of the key aspects of having a website over just an online presence on social media is that you have the freedom to showcase all your work in one place without feature limitation, meaning that you're not really limited by any updates that the platform might have. You can include stuff like animation, stuff like videos, as you can see here, and all of it you can include in your website, and it will help you communicate your brand better. It will help you make your website a reflection of your work. Okay, so next step is control of the algorithm. And what I mean by that is you don't have to please the algorithm like you would have on other social media platforms. And it's especially important because you need this consistency in your life. So you need to be able to control the SEO. You need to see the real analytics. And on Tilda, you can connect Google Analytics to a website and use various SEO tools to improve your website experience. Okay, and finally, I like this one. It's a personal touch. So you can create practically any type of website on Tilda because you have zero block. So if you're an advanced web designer or if you're into design, you can include a lot of really interactive pieces on your website, as you can see here. And also I recommend you to check out madeontilda gallery to find inspiration for your project as well. And our gallery has a lot of portfolios, a lot of inspiring portfolios. So yeah, personal touch, I think it's important because you want your website to be an extension of your work. Let's say you're a designer and your website isn't just another project that you're creating as a designer. Okay, so moving on, we're gonna talk about what makes a strong portfolio. Okay, so first of all, it's a compelling content. So you need to show your best work, and we're going to talk about this later, but it's worth repeating every time. You have to show just only your best pieces. Okay, so next you need to share case studies with your audience, with your potential clients, with any users that might visit your website. And you need to show problem solving through your content. So it's not just you compile a bunch of beautiful pictures and throw them online. You need to be able to showcase in a really effective way. And next step is intuitive navigation. It's kind of self-explanatory, but I would say it's also worth repeating, and you need to pay attention to it every time you create a website. So first of all, you need to work on website organization, meaning you need to have a certain prototype before you start designing. You need to have seamless user experience, so your user won't get lost on your website, and the user journey would be clear to your customer, to your potential client, because ultimately this is how you convert your client to contact you, to book a consultation or anything like that. And finally, you need to always think that in our day and age, you need to think that some people use mobile phones, so your design needs to be responsive. Some art directors use iPads all the time, so you need to make sure that your website looks great on every single device, and thankfully Tilda has a lot of tools to do that. Okay, and finally, the third point is marketing tools. So while you have tackled the content and navigation, you also need to think of the ways you can market yourself online on your website. So first of all is you need to check twice if you have clear call to action buttons. If you have, for example, if you have a blog that you can use to show your expertise, you can write an article on the topic that you're an expert at, and this will help you improve your SEO and you'll rank higher on Google. And yeah, basically this is how people might discover you. Next is you can create a newsletter. So newsletter is a great tool to share what you have done, any updates, which brings me to my next point is regular updates. So a newsletter or blog can be an amazing tool for you to push those updates on your website. Okay, so first of all, you need to always review your artwork and see if you need to really have this piece on your website, or you might just want to switch and add another project. And yeah, it's a great tool for sharing new stuff with your audience, and they might want to, I don't know, get inspired by your seasonal offers or anything like that. So make sure you do regular updates, and trust me, if you're someone visiting a website as a user, you can tell instantly if the website is being updated regularly or not. So yeah, just update your website. Moving on, we are going to talk about content. So how do we curate content for more impact? And I have a great saying that you are only as good as the weakest work in your portfolio. And this is just true, right? So, and because the art directors or your client or any other person who might want to contact you for your skills, they don't really know how good you are. You have to persuade them to really trust you through your website, okay? And so you might want to communicate that you're as best as your best portfolio piece, okay? So meaning that you only have to have just the best pieces on your website. And also imagine that you are a photographer and you want to book, let's say, fashion photo shoots, right? And you have created a lot of wedding photography. And so you have all these amazing shots of wedding pictures. Would you really include them on your website if you want to book fashion photo shoots? Think about it. So you need to put the work on your website, the type of work on your website that you want to get later on. So if you want to draw editorial illustration, you need to come up with editorial illustrations and put them on your website. Even if it's a fake piece or your pet project or your personal project, make sure you include it, but make sure it really reflects the type of projects you want to have in your future, okay? Okay, and now we are on the topic of case studies and showing the process. So why would you need a case study? So imagine you have compiled all of your work in one folder. So you have your content, but you don't have a website yet. So you would need to think of a structure for your website. So the best way to go about this is to create a case study or a project for each of your, let's say, folder. So it's quite easy to do. What you need to do is make sure that the images are really great and they really communicate what you did in this project clearly. So the user, when they visit your website, they can instantly tell that, oh, this is the product that I need, right? So make sure it's a really it's a really compelling picture. It's a very eye-catching picture that will grab your user's attention. Then you also need to pay attention to the title. So make it concise and easily readable, and I would say also make it keyword rich, because you want to impress your client, but you also want to impress the search engine, right? So the search engine, when they analyze your page, they would search for the keywords. So make sure to include something like, let's say, food photography. Just include this piece of information in your title and the subtitle to be able to not only show your client what you do, but also improve your SEO. Yeah, and finally, tell about the project briefly. Don't overdo it, because otherwise it looks like a big chunk of text. Just briefly tell about the project and your work. Make sure you include some keywords as well, and you're good to go. So that's on case studies. And here we have a great example of a website that utilizes a case study. So here you can see the process behind the final work. So when the client visits your website, they can immediately see what type of work you did. So it has a brief description, the references, the sketches. The clients just like that. They like to have a peek behind the scenes, and we all like to see like what was the training process, what was the decision making, anything like that. And also what I like about this website is, aside from really clear navigation, it has a call to action button at the end. So it says, my clients can always count on high quality work according to the latest trends in the design world. And then you have a contact me button. I think it's great. So it's also a website from our madeontilda gallery. So if you seeking inspiration, you might want to check that out. Okay. Next step in curating your content is problem solving. So you need, now that you showed your work, you need to show how you can solve problems with your work. So the best way to go about this is to include some type of why us page or service and products page. So something that will explain your customer or your client why would they choose you over anyone else. Okay, so I like this example because it has a really eye-catching title. So why us is really brief, and also the question mark really helps you think and really grabs your attention. So then we have a list of advantages. So the list of advantages, it's also quite brief here. So you can clearly tell, you can just skim through the page and instantly tell what the website is about. So individual approach, continuous updating of knowledge. So the client can instantly tell what the advantages are. And I think it's really important to include it on your website too. And we're going to talk about it later as we move on to prototyping. And here, products and services. Also include the title of the type of work that you do, and then include a short description so your client knows how it can solve the problem. And if they need to stay on your page longer, if they need to scroll down, or they could just leave. And of course, the CTA button, always make sure you have a call to action, and it's a clear call to action. Don't make the text too big or anything like that. Just include a button and you're good to go. Okay. Next, we're gonna move on to navigation, and I will check the chat. Okay, there are so many comments already. I'm so excited. Okay, great. I hope you like the content so far. Oh, great. We have content writer and digital communication strategy consultant. That's really great. Oh, Derim, I think I hope I pronounce your name right. I hope it will help you. I hope the webinar will be helpful for you. So, yes. Okay. Awesome, awesome. I really like the engagement in the chat. Nice. Okay, let's move on and talk about navigation. So, I have prepared this little prototype, and it's really important when you start working in a website to have a sort of idea in mind what you would need to prepare a structure on the page. You can scribble, you can create a sketch, or you can open Figma like I did, and I sketched out a little prototype for my portfolio website. So here we have the menu. And when we are starting with this, make sure that in the menu you only include the page links that are relevant to converting your client. So your website might be quite big if you include, for example, I don't know, a couple of galleries, if your site is really visual. So you make sure you only include the links, you don't clutter your menu a section, and you just only include the links that will help you convert your client later. And you also can include, what's really great is you can include some social media links. It always helps you. Okay, so menu is quite easy to make. We have a lot of blocks, and I will show you later on how you can add a menu quite easily. And finally, one of the important aspects of any landing page is a hero section. So on your hero section, first you need to think of a strong keyword rich headline. Again, keyword rich because it helps the search engine to rank you higher, to basically promote your website on Google, on other search engines. So make sure you communicate your brand really well here, and you have the title and you have a really concise description about yourself and the services you provide, your experience. So your hero page is what it is, it's a hero section, right? You need to promote yourself as well as you can. So make sure it's concise, cohesive, and it really communicates who you are, okay? And then you need to add any type of call of action. So call to action button, inviting a user to get in touch, to learn more about your work, etc., etc. So make sure, because not all of the people will scroll down, so you need to include the CTA button in order to convert my clients later on. And finally, yes, you need to include some visuals showcasing your work or yourself. If you don't have a picture of yourself, or if it's not relevant to your field of work, just skip this part, but make sure it's a strong visual. It's something that will catch, it will be eye-catching for your user, and it will grab their attention. So next we have about me information. So this is the perfect place to have your about me information, because the user is not yet bored and it's time to tell more about yourself. Okay, so again, you have a picture of yourself, you have a short description, and that's it. Make it personal. This is the place where you can kind of be playful with it. You don't really have to include keywords like I mentioned earlier. So this is the block where you can be as creative as you can, okay? And the next part is a really important section, and it can be like the main body of your website if you think of it. So it looks kind of small here on the prototype, but you can really make it as big as you can. And here is where you can tell your client about your services, or include case studies, include a gallery with pictures, anything like that. It should be it should be really visual and attention grabbing. So make sure you really select the pictures. You can do what I would recommend is do like a simple A/B testing and show your friends and family a selection of pictures and let them vote for the best pictures for a website. It really helps you to have a second opinion, so definitely do that. And so yeah, again, include just a title, let's say like my case studies or my project, my latest projects, something like that. And then it's time to, after you showed a lot of pictures, so this blog was pretty visual, this blog was kind of visual too because we had a picture of yourself. So this blog might be heavily related to pictures, to showing stuff. So you might want to highlight some information from the past blogs here. So you can quote yourself on what type of work you do, what you enjoy doing. Anything you want to highlight in text, I would recommend you to include it here. Okay. And then we have social proof. So social proof is basically reviews from your clients. It's really important if you want to stand out from other portfolios to have a review section. It will persuade your client to work with you because they would see that someone has already worked with you and they have positive experience. So yeah, make sure you do that. If you don't have a review, you might want to reach out to your client and say, hey, do you want to write a couple of sentences? I need it for my website. And I'm sure many people will be thrilled to feature their review on your website. But just make sure they're okay with that. Make sure to credit them accordingly, and you're good to go. So finally, at the end, I would say this is a section where you can be more free, I would say, in terms of content. So usually what people add there, what might be useful for you to add in this section is some type of how it works blog or frequently asked question, FAQ, anything that like after your user scrolled through the whole website, they might have a bit of attention span, to spend on the last piece of information before they decide to contact you. So make sure you answer all of the questions here, or like tell them how you work, how to reach out to you, how to start working with you. Like if you have a price list, you might want to include it here as well. Okay, and finally, you need to have a contact form. A contact form can vary from like different types of forms. You can include your email, you can create a button or a lead collection form to collect leads later on. So yeah, Tilda also has a really convenient CRM, so it's really cool to collect the leads from the website, and then you can sort through all of the people who have reached out to you, so it's pretty neat. Finally, you have footer, and in footer you can include as many links as you want. I'm joking, but you can definitely play with your footer, and it's not like the menu at the beginning, so you don't really have to be scarce with your information. You can include your social media links, legal information, anything you want at the end. Okay, so now that we have discussed our prototype part, let's jump into Tilda editor and we will create a website. I will read the chat. Oh, thank you, Morphicore. That's so nice to hear. I'm so glad you like Tilda. Okay, great. Let's jump right into our dashboard. So I'm here on my dashboard, and to create a new website, I click Start New Website, and I will call it My Portfolio, because I'm creative like that. Okay. And before you create a new page, let us quickly go over site settings. And what might be important for you here is that, first of all, if you want to customize your website, you might want to check out the fonts and colors section here. So you can click on different types of fonts that are already inside the Tilda, but you can also go into custom settings, and here you can use Google Fonts, Adobe Fonts, and you can upload your own font here. So it's pretty neat. You can also customize the colors, anything like that. So it's quite an important section if you want to be really creative on your page. I'm gonna leave Tilda Sums for now. And next, you might want to check out domain. So you can connect your domain name if you already bought one, or if you have another website that you want to move to Tilda, or if you have another domain that you want to move to Tilda, it's quite easy to do. We have an instruction of how to do it, and basically you can connect your domain name and have your own pretty name of your website here. Okay, so here you can connect analytics, website statistics, you can connect Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, Facebook Pixel, and so on. And finally, there are stuff like sections like ACO, you can export your website. Okay, so I think we are gonna save the changes and close our website, close the setting page, and create a new page. Okay, so once you click on create new page, you are presented with different templates that we have. So you can create a business website from the business template section. Right here, you can create store, you can even create link in bio, which is already optimized for mobile. I think it's pretty neat, but we're not gonna talk about this today, but it's worth checking out. You can create event page, blog, form, or you can even go pro and check out our really creative pro templates. But today, just because we are making a website from scratch, I will choose a blank page. I click create, and we are inside the editor. So here I click on more blocks, and as we saw on a prototype, we are starting with the menu. So I'm going to choose just a simple menu with a logo on the left. And here, when you click on the content tab, you can edit menu items. So I will rename the menu items, and I will write portfolio. I will write reviews, and finally I will write contact me, and I will edit it later on. Here in logo, you can create a title, or you can upload your image logo here. So I'm gonna create a food photography blog today, because I think it's quite a convenient topic to test out all the features. So today I'm gonna create a food photography portfolio. Okay. Okay, so we have the menu here, and I can always go back and change it. For now, I need this really simple menu, and I will jump right into the hero page. So for hero page, you need to click on cover, and here you have all kinds of blocks that you can use for your hero section. And I will choose this one because it has a good amount of text and everything. Okay, so I have prepared a document with the text that I will be using. And also it's so easy to customize your website once you are an editor. So here I have the title, and I just click and I'm pasting the information, and it's displaying all here, all nice and neat. And here I'm having a subheading. Okay. And here also you can customize the button like so. I think it's pretty useful if you want to customize your button. So I will write explore my work, and also I can change the button color easy like that. Okay, like that, and click save. Okay, great. Now we need to upload our photo, and I'm clicking here, and I need to go and click here. And we wait. Okay, and you click save. And here you have it. Great. Now we need to create about me page. So we go to about section. It's right at the top, so it's quite easy to find. And I'm gonna click on this block. I think it looks pretty nice. And here you can drag and drop your picture, your photo. Okay. And while it's loading, I will go to my document. Okay, it's loaded. So my character, the one that I'm creating a portfolio for, is called Jessica. So I came up with a name. So yeah, I will just stick to it. Okay, so it's not my company, so I'm writing about me. Then I'm adding a short description here. It's so easy to customize. You need to copy and paste. If you have your website copy ready, like I have in a separate document, it's so easy to just, drag and drop your picture and copy paste the text, and you're good to go. Okay, and here I'm copying this part. Okay, great. And we're done with about me page. So next we have the most important part, is cases or projects that you have done over the years probably. So you need to go to, so the best section for it is tile and link, because it allows you to present a lot of visual information while also having like a button below or a description or a heading. So it really combines all of the elements together, and I think it's pretty useful if you want to showcase your case studies or just your work. So I like this one. Okay, so but before we're gonna start with the content for this blog, let's just make the amount of blocks a bit less. So because I don't need eight pictures here, I probably would need only 4, because it's too much. So it's really easy. You go to Content tab and you scroll all the way down, and you can click delete. So if you don't need too many image blocks, you can always go into the content page and delete or add a new item. Okay, so I'm clicking delete. Okay, I think 4 is enough. Great. So here what we can do is, again, we just drag and drop our text. So I'm going to start with text. So I am going to write the heading here, and sometimes it does, you need to change the color. So I'm changing the color up here. So here is the bar that allows you to change your text to bold, make it italic, change font family, and so on. So you might want to look at it. And here we have our description. Okay, and it's black again. So again, text color white, and you can apply. And you might want to do that. Okay, so now that we're done with this part, I will quickly add my first project. So again, I'm copying and pasting it here. Then, so you don't need to have a big description. You just need to showcase what type of work you did, what type of project it was, and probably a sentence that shows your emotional attachment to the project. So here you have a family cookbook, so you are highlighting that it was a grandma's secret, so it might invoke a sense of nostalgia when the client scrolls through your website. So yeah, and here okay, so here you can drag and drop your picture. Let me add something like this. And we are waiting for it to load. Okay, so here you have a ready block. And then we have our next project. And again, it's quite intuitive, and you don't really need to go and search for any other settings. You just have it all here, and you can do it in the editor. Okay, copy paste and drag and drop. Okay, and we are waiting for it to load. And it's done. Oh, I think I'm gonna go with another picture. Wait a second. With the strawberries, because it says that it's a project about farm to table photography. Okay, and here I need to proofread the spelling because I think some of the previous text remained. Okay, so here we have neat pictures. These are from Unsplash, by the way, and you can also, like, if you don't have pre-made pictures, you can always look for stock pictures that allow you to use them on your website. Yeah, make sure to check the license when you save in the pictures. Okay, and we have 2 more to go. Nice and easy. Okay, make sure you're proofreading everything you are copy pasting, because sometimes some mistakes might crawl in. Okay, and we're almost done. Okay, and copy and paste, and I'm gonna quickly upload some pictures for this project. And you really need to wait until the loading is completed, otherwise you will lose your picture, so make sure you wait. Okay, and now let's do the I think I'm gonna go with this one. Looks pretty good. Okay, now we are waiting for pictures to load fully. I will check out the chat while I'm waiting for everything to load. And guys, make sure you ask the questions. I will review them later when we are done with the main part. And okay. Oh, I see really cool questions in the chat, but I'm not gonna answer them yet. I'm gonna wait until the end. Okay, so the biggest part of our portfolio is done. So of course, you, like, if you're creating your portfolio, you really need to create separate pages for every project, like I showed you in the presentation earlier. But honestly, once you have that, it's so much easier to fill in every page of your case study section, because you already have a start, you already have everything on display. You just need to kind of elaborate on what is being presented here. Okay, so, and here we can, oh, by the way, I think that the black color is kind of too bleak, so I want to make it a bit like greenish. Okay, like that probably. No, that's too bright. Oh, actually, I had the color saved, but I'm not gonna go and search for it yet. Okay, I think something like this will do. Yeah, that looks so much better. It doesn't look too tragic. We don't need that for a food blog. And like I said, moving if we look back on our prototype, here it's the best time to add any type of text block. And you go to text block and you add something like that. Center text would be nice. Okay, and I'm going to my document again, and again, it's just a copy-paste game if you have everything prepared. And I think it's too small, like the text is too small, so in this bar you can always make the font size bigger. Okay, so I'm gonna do like 30 pixels. And also you can change the font weight, so it's really important if you want to highlight something. So I'm making semi-bold because it just stands out. Okay, so this is just a quote about Jessica's or my way of working. So I think it's important to highlight that you're willing to work on the type of project that you want to work on. So here I'm saying that I like working on grand production or small projects as well. So I think it's a really neat quote for you to include on your website. Okay, and now it's time for our review section. Okay, for our social proof block. And here it's quite easy to find. We have reviews here. Okay, so you click on this and you scroll all the way down. I really like this block. It kind of adds more shapes to your website, and your client has been scrolling through all the information and they're getting bored, so we need to persuade them to stay on the website. Okay, so I think adding some interactive elements, some shapes, some interesting stuff by the end of your website really prolongs user engagement, really improves it. Okay, so now, like I said, again, we have our text ready, so we're going to just change it, and it's quite easy to do. Okay, and oh, sorry, Levin, I think I have not renamed this one. Okay, here we have another review. And we are copying and pasting like that, and we have one more to go, and I will take a food blogger from my list. Okay, and here we have another review. Food blogger. It's really easy to customize, and you can always go back, and if you did something not the way you imagined at first, you can always go back and change it. Okay, and finally we have a how it works section. So here, honestly, you can include anything you want, but I would recommend you to include something that kind of explains the way that you work. Okay, so whether it's frequently asked questions that your user might have by the end of your website, or just any type of instruction for your user to be able to act, to be able to contact you, I would say this is the best place to include that. Okay, and so how it works, it's basically the section that is called how it works. Okay, and here you can choose from all kinds of templates and also stuff with icons, so something more usual, something more visual, something more simple like here, or yeah, basically anything you want. And I'm gonna pick this one because it's horizontal, it doesn't take up too much space because it's a photography blog and I don't want to clutter it with too much text, so it still needs to be visual, and yeah, so I'm focusing on that. And here we have, okay, how it works. Here I will include a kind of the beginning of call to action. Okay, so I will include contact me because it will prompt my user to consider reaching out to me. Okay, so oops, no, I did this wrong. I needed to paste it here. Okay, yeah, I'm clicking undo. Yes, how it works. Great. Okay, I'm creating the account here. Oops. Yeah, sometimes you click on the wrong page. Sorry for that. Okay. And we are going with that. And we're just going over the steps that you need for your how it works section. Okay, and oops. Okay, one more to go. And here we have it. Great. Almost done. And we are done with this block as well. So here we have explained our client how we work. We have explained step by step. So the first step is contact me. The next step is consultation, meaning you are inviting your client to schedule a call. Then you're explaining that once the call is finished, you can create a customized proposal, and then you are explaining how you go about delivering your results. So there's that. And so now we only need to create a contact form. So we already persuaded our client to reach out to you. So here we are looking for contacts. And again, you can scroll and pick the type of form that you like. I really like this one because it has all the important information. So I'm writing my contacts, and here I'm gonna include a call to action as well. So I'm writing, let's discuss your new dream projects together. So I'm not going to change information here. I think we are good to go like that. And so if we scroll back, you can see a fully created website from scratch that we did in under 1 hour. So it's possible to create your portfolio in under 1 hour. So make sure you don't postpone creating your website. Okay, so once we've done that, we can click on publish, and I will name my portfolio my food photography portfolio. Okay, save and continue. And now you can open the page. Okay, so this is how it looks like. You can scroll through all of the projects, look what client says, how it works, contacts. Okay, awesome. And one more thing I forgot, because my button at the top is green, and here it kind of prompts me to change the color. So thankfully I have my colors saved here, so it's quite handy to change the button, and you can republish it and you are done. Okay, so we are going back to our presentation. Okay. And now, once we did this big part of our webinar, now that we are done with it, we're going to talk about how to market your skills for more opportunities. So how do you go about marketing yourself online so that your client can find you, right? So the first tool on Tilda that you can use is create a newsletter. Okay, so creating a newsletter is super easy. You basically create it just in a way you can create a website, and using your newsletter you can reach out to your existing audience and kind of share what you have been up to. And it's really cool tool for you to update your website. So you have updated something and you already have kind of a reason to contact your potential list of clients. So of course you would need to collect your leads, meaning that you would need to kind of prompt your client to leave their email on the contact form. But as we saw earlier, it's quite easy. So if you already have an audience, it's quite easy to do. And I would say monthly newsletters are really great. So this is something that we do on Tilda as well. So you can implement it in your work, and it's a great way to kind of keep in touch with your audience while being able to control what you're putting out there. So you don't have any algorithm. The email will land on someone else's email box. So you don't need to worry that your post won't be shown in a feed or something like that. So you have the guarantee to that your post will be delivered to your audience. So we have a pretty convenient website email campaign builder, so check that out. It's the same as creating a website page, so super easy and super intuitive. Okay, finally, also one way to market your skills online is creating a blog. So blogs have been online forever and they are still relevant to this day. So you still can create a blog and, not only show your expertise, but also connect with others. So maybe someone is looking online, I know, like we have talked about food photography. So they are looking for someone to create pictures for a menu. So they have just opened the restaurant and they need a photographer to create a menu for them with beautiful pictures. And so they would probably type in Google and, your blog may pop up. So blog really helps you improve your SEO, helps you to update your site regularly. So it's a really great tool for you to use. So, and also blogs on Tilda, we have a really handy tool called feeds. So here you don't really have to like create a separate page for every blog entry. You can do it all in one editor. It's super easy. It's absolutely a great tool for ACO because each blog is easily recognizable by search engines, and you also have unlimited number of blog posts. You can schedule your posts, so you can do a bunch of posts in one sitting, upload them and schedule them. And you can also optimize pages for mobile versions, so they load faster, and you can create content categories or anything like that. But I think the strongest feature in Tilda Feeds is ACO, because it really helps you kind of move your website up. Okay, and now that we are done with our main part, I would like to quickly go over everything we have discussed today. So probably some of you have tuned in later on the webinar, and I would just like to go over some points to review the material that we have discussed today. So repetition is key, and this is what we're gonna do. So first of all, we talked about content. So how do you know your website is ready to launch? So what would you say to yourself if you're checking in with yourself whether your website is ready or not? So first of all, have you reviewed your work, and have you chosen only your strongest pieces? If yes, good. 1 point. Then you need to include case studies on your website. Did you do this? If yes, then it's great. It helps you stand out from the crowd and helps you create a stronger portfolio. So next thing you might want to check yourself on is, did you show your problem-solving skills through your work? So we have discussed it. Make sure you're not only showing your beautiful projects or flashy pictures or something like that. You also need to show how the pictures, how the amazing content that you have already picked and put up on your website, how it can help your client to solve the problem. Okay, next is navigation and website copy. So that was a really big block, and we have discussed it pretty extensively. So first point is include only important page links in the menu navigation to avoid clutter. Okay, that's kind of self-explanatory, but you really need to always remember to check if everything is all right. Okay, next, you need to make sure that your hero page reflects your work. It's really important because the hero page is basically the face of your website. It's what the user sees when they enter it, and you really need to kind of persuade them to stay on your page. So make it super clear. Also, speaking of headlines, again, keyword-rich headlines, so it's really readable to search engines and to your customer. So then don't forget to include a CTA button, a call to action button on your hero page to guide the user to important parts of your website. It's really important. Many people just kind of decide not to put the CTA button, and I think they're missing out, because you really need to put everything you need in your hero page. So next, you might want to highlight your services and how they can help your client, and we did that. Then comes social proof. You would need to include reviews of your work to build trust and conviction. And finally, you need to show your clients steps to start working with you. This is what we did earlier today as well. Okay, so this You can also, I don't know, make a screenshot, because that's a lot of information, but we will also have a recording ready later. Okay, and finally, marketing. This is something that we just discussed, so I think you still remember it pretty well. And yeah, you need to create, you might create a website, a newsletter for important announcements. Again, it's not something mandatory, it's not something you really need to have, but I think it's a really cool tool for you to implement in your website, and Tilda has great tools for that. Also, you can create a blog to share your expertise and drive more traffic to your website. Yeah, I think blog is really great tool for you to stand out. And I think that, like, if I would be the client and I would visit a website, I would check the blog, because it kind of shows the expertise of another person. It also helps your client to understand how you think, like what information is important to you, and stuff like that. So yeah, make sure to explore those features. I think they're pretty great. Okay, so let me go through the chat again. Okay. And let me read some comments. Okay, so I had a comment from Vanya, and he wrote, or was it she? Okay, they wrote, I'm gonna go with that. So they wrote, I have created 2 websites just for practice. I'm still exploring Tilda. It's so modern. Thank you so much. I want to make websites for clients on Tilda, but I don't have any yet. What should I put in case studies? So actually, this is a really great topic, and I will guide you to our madeontilda page, because it has a lot of amazing websites that have made, like, award-winning websites that have made it to the gallery, and they're sometimes made for just educational purposes. So these are not websites for any type of business or like personal portfolio website, anything like that. They're just amazing websites that sometimes people do great websites just to win the award, and it's not a real business, nothing like that. But the website, it's so great that it drives traffic, it drives clients to the designer who have created this. So, like, I would say the easiest way to go about this, pick the topic that you're passionate about. Let's say you have watched a movie and you like the movie so much, you can imagine that you have been contacted by the movie crew or by the producers, and you were asked to create a promotional page for this movie. So start with that. Start with something that you find genuinely cool, and just explore this topic on your website. Okay, so I think like something like movies, your favorite books. You might want to check out the long read section in our madeontilda gallery. It has so many great websites with just mind-blowing animations. And yeah, so this is something like a pet project would really help you get started. Or if you don't want to create a pet project or create, I don't know, just some abstract website, you can ask your, I don't know, friends or family, or you can reach out to volunteering organizations. They will always, like, people always need websites, right? So there are small businesses probably in your town that have really bad website, and you might want to reach out to them and say, hi, I'm a beginner web designer and I'm looking for projects to fill in my portfolio. And they will also probably, just because you're working for free or you're working at a really low price, they will also be willing to give you a review that you can mention in your social proof section as well. Okay, so okay. Okay, let me read the chat. Okay, I think my moderator has answered all the questions pretty well. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, is the picture from you? Dana, I think I mentioned it. Here I have used stock pictures from Unsplash, so they have a pretty flexible license that allows you to use the pictures on your website. So if you need free stock footage, you can always check out like royalty-free stock websites. Okay, yeah, thank you, Vanya. I hope you found this helpful, and do make sure to check out our Madeontilda gallery, because it will inspire you to create your websites. And please, if you have done a website, you can also submit your website to madeontilda, so maybe your website will be presented in the gallery as well. Okay, so I think we are done with the questions. Let me know, guys, if you found this helpful, if you still need any information. I think we're well past 1 hour. It's 1 hour 20. So, but I think we covered a lot of important stuff today, and I thank you all for coming here today, for sticking with us for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Wow, that's the engagement we like. And I wish you a great day or a great evening whenever you are. And bye. See you in the next webinars.